Well, with kids back in school and parents packing lunches again, you may be struggling to keep up with the healthy meals every day, or maybe with a potentially picky eater.
We have a lot of firsthand experience about that. Joining us this morning to help is founder and CEO of Global, Bethe Levin. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You know, parents are always looking for quick, healthy lunchbox ideas. What do you suggest for a preschooler's lunch?
So I brought a little sample here today. I mean, every preschooler is different, but we want to give them sort of a variety of protein, veggies, healthy carbs. So what I prepared today is super simple because we don't have a lot of time, right? I did a whole wheat bow tie pasta. And I ended up just chopping up some tomatoes, but you can feel free to add any sort of veggies to it. Bell pepper, I brought an eggplant because you could actually fry it in the air fryer. It gives a different texture. Herbs, and then just a side of fruit and some granola. For me, the granola is a healthier version of a dessert. You know, it gives them that little sweet bite at the end, but it's not adding kind of the unnecessary added sugars that we want to stay away from.
We're talking about preschoolers, but I like that lunch. That looks pretty
good.
Tasty for, I think, a lot of people, right?
So the earlier we get them eating good, healthy food, the more they embrace it later on.
One of the biggest challenges that I have, and so many parents have, is picky eating. And there's only like 5 safe foods that you feel like you can pack in their lunch every day. It's so stressful, dinner time each night.
I know.
What advice do you have for the moms of picky eaters?
So, picky eating can be avoided to the extent that it can. Some kids are just going to be like that, but the earlier we expose them, kids have a flavor window between 4 and 18 months of age. That is when we can most easily influence the way they eat forever. So during that time, it's really important to give them that texture, that flavor, that spice. And also, like, the ship hasn't sailed if your kid is beyond that 4 to 18 month period. You can get them more excited about cooking and more excited about flavors by embodying what you want them to eat. So like colorful foods, like show them your plate, eat together, get them cooking with you, get them smelling the food as it's simmering. You know, this gets them excited. And also let them taste it. Like, don't make them chew it. Don't even make them swallow it. Let them put their little tongues on it, which is what I do with my son. But once his tongue goes on it, he's ready to try it the next time or the next time or the next time.
So it's about persistence, just constantly offering the food and just hoping for the best?
Yeah, I call it pleasant persistence. So yeah, just keep trying, don't give up. Eventually they're gonna make their own decisions. Just like you may not like a certain food, they may not either. But once, you know, they make that decision, just move on.
And we were talking a little bit about it in the commercial break. Also, just, you know, letting your kids eat what you're eating for dinner and letting them try different things. And eventually, I mean, there's something they'll like, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're really the only kind of country in the world that's sort of created this baby food industry of sanitized, boring, mushy purees. Most parents around the world just give their kids the pad thai that they're eating, or the tikka masala that they're eating, or the carbonara that they're eating. These kids grow up without the picky eating aspect, and most of them are not prone to the allergies that we have here because they're not sanitizing the food. So early allergen introduction, all this flavor and texture, it's all very important to set them up for healthy eating for the rest of their lives.
On that note about introducing allergens early, I think it's scary for parents to put peanuts in front of a baby, not knowing how they'll react. So what's the advice for doing that?
Well, I would preface it by saying always talk to your pediatrician, you know, when introducing new foods to your child. But the USDA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, they're all advocating for an early and often allergen introduction regimen of sorts. So introducing them early is scientifically proven to reduce that likelihood later down the line. So whether it's mixing peanut butter with a banana, whether it's making scrambled eggs and adding some cheese, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, and again, in consultation with your doctor, you know, you should be getting that inside of them so that they start to build that immunity.
You know, before we let you go, do you have any other, you know, tips for parents? We're back to school now. You know, they're packing lunches every day. They want to keep it healthy. You know, tips for just using what's in the house.
Yes, I mean, make it exciting. Like, see all the colors in this? Like, I just think that's so fun. You can cut up, I mentioned the eggplant because I brought it because it's purple. Like, fry it in the air fryer and let them dip it in hummus, right? Let them play. When I say play with food, I don't mean like throw it all over the salad and make a mess.
Well, that happens.
Naturally, right? But like, let them play. Let them enjoy the process of eating because it is an enjoyable process, and we don't want them to feel like it, you know, they just have to eat. We want them to want to eat, and we want to take them to the restaurants we want to enjoy. So start them early with colorful food, give it to them often, let them play, and hopefully we are setting them up for better eating.
Yeah, one thing I've heard is the more pressure you put on the child, if you make it a stressful meal
Yes,
experience,
yeah.
it's only going to make the picky eating worse.
Yep.
So the more fun you can have, the more relaxing it is for
Yes.
everybody. Hopefully that sets us all up for success.
Absolutely. And model the way you want them to eat by letting them watch you.
Lots of good tips here. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming in. Still ahead on